seniors, we wanted to give you an update and a summary of the Zoom meeting that we had yesterday because I think we spoke about some important points that we wanted to share with the rest of the class. So one of the things that we spoke about were minors. This time LIU Global is actually being able to give 2 minors, one in international relations and the other in social entrepreneurship. And in order to plan, if you're interested in taking a minor, please send Rachel and I courses that you think are integrated into an international or social entrepreneurship minor, and we'll see with New York if those apply, and you can actually get the minor from LIU Global. If you're interested in getting a minor outside of those 2 areas, then you will need to directly contact the department. Each department of LIU Brooklyn has different criteria, and all of them will require you to take some courses in the spring semester at the Brooklyn campus. So if you need any help, what we would just suggest would be contact the LIU departments first, and then copy us so that we can help you push to get a quicker answer. Housing in New York, thinking of capstone semester. We wanted to let you know that New York and Capstone will not charge you the room and board because you're all responsible for getting your own apartments. So the only thing that you are gonna have to pay other than the tuition is the center fee. And because Rachel is an alumni and has gone through it, I wanted her to give you some advice of things that actually worked for her while she was a senior in New York.
Right, so unless you're very familiar with New York City and the different neighborhoods and you already have a strong idea of what it would be like to live in those neighborhoods, I would not suggest using Craigslist. If you are okay and you feel comfortable, you can use Craigslist, and that is a very quick process. You would probably just look the week before you get there. Otherwise, you can do what I did and use an agency and get an agent. You pay for an agent to find the apartment for you. So if you already have an idea of who you're going to live with, you just contact the agency. They match an agent up with you, and you can split the cost of the agency with the other people that you plan on living with. The one that I used was NY Habitat, and it's just nyhabitat.com. You put in the information of when you're going to be there, how many people, your price range, and I ended up only paying $600 a month in rent, which is reasonable for New York, very reasonable. And I paid about $150 in agency fees, which is worth it so that you don't have to go to New York without a place to stay.
Another important thing that we need to work on is your internship in capstone semester. Remember that New York is highly competitive, so we need you to start choosing an internship locations that you're interested in pursuing in New York. Hopefully it is internships that are tied to your research project. What we want you to do now in these couple of weeks and throughout the semester is locate as many internship opportunities and really document the deadlines so that the deadlines do not pass. In order to do this, you need your CV and cover letter ready. We are willing to make individual appointments with the career service and you guys, so if you are interested in that, so that you can have a career service personnel go over your CV and your cover letter, please write to us so that we can arrange that. Also, the career service at Brooklyn has many other options for internships possibilities. So you want to use the document that we sent, which are organizations that the New York LIU Global Center has worked in the past, but there are many others in New York City. So we want you to give you as many information as possible in order to prepare you for that opportunity in New York. We also posted in Google Classroom the email of the Writing Center. The email is w as in writing center @brooklyn.liu.edu. when you email the Writing Center, if you want an extra set of eyes to look over your papers, your case studies, this semester we have an alumni, Sarah Kaplan Gould, who is doing her graduate work in the writing department at LIU and is actually a tutor in the Writing Center. She wants to work with LIU Global Student. She has gone through what you are going through now, and she's a great writer. So please send your drafts, send your work so that she can, give you, different advices of writing styles, how to put things in order, etc. So please write to the Writing Center and then ask for Sarah Kaplan Gould if you want this service that I think you should take advantage of. The other question that came up in the Zoom meeting is how many interviews you all should try to have during this semester before you actually go into your capstone. And although each of your projects is going to be very different, what usually, the number that usually sociologists and anthropologists choose in order to write, case study papers is 20 interviews. If you can't reach those, that number, I think is still a good target to get. Remember that when you are going to be in New York, you're going to have access to libraries and speakers and all kinds of information, but what you're going to lack is the field experience that you right now have. So you want to take as much primary resource as you can from the locations where you're at. And it is important that in order to do these interviews, right, you start early on in the semester so that you don't leave the interview process at the end, because you are going to have to transcribe and also build that into your case study, and that takes time. And in order to do this appropriately, remember that you're going to have to do the interview sample consent form, and it's on the Google Drive on the IRIS folder. So just go and then you have to do the sample, there is the sample consent form, but you have to adequate it into your specific projects. So do that and get the signature of your interviewees in order for you to be able to include that information into your paper and eventually be able to, publish or, present your work. And I think this is what we said all in the Zoom meeting. If you have any questions, as always, just send us a quick email. Okay, bye-bye.